What if I told you that the survival strategies we're just discovering today were known to ancient tribes centuries ago? Imagine surviving without modern tools, technology, or even basic comforts. Yet, these tribes not only survived, they thrived. Today, we look back at them and realize their wisdom about survival was more advanced than we ever thought. We've spent decades studying how to survive in extreme conditions, but what if we've been overlooking one of the most powerful sources of knowledge all along? The very people who lived closest to nature, their survival methods were built not just on knowledge, but on deep, unspoken connection with the land. Imagine the struggles they faced. Wild animals, harsh climates, no shelter or medical advancements. Yet they survived and passed down this incredible knowledge. These tribes knew what we are just beginning to rediscover. Survival wasn't just about fighting off predators or building shelters. It was about adapting to every aspect of nature, working with it rather than against it. This isn't just history. It's a wake-up call. Join me as we uncover the incredible survival secrets that ancient tribes understood. Secrets that we've only begun to unlock with modern science. It's easy to think that survival was just about being tough, right? That somehow the strongest person in the tribe was the one who lived. But it's not that simple. These tribes didn't just survive. They understood nature at a level we still struggle to comprehend today. Let's take a look at the survival techniques of one of the most resilient groups of people to ever live, the Native American tribes. Their survival strategies were centered around understanding the balance of nature. They didn't just hunt animals. They respected them. They didn't just build shelters. They designed them in harmony with the environment. What's even more fascinating is that these tribes understood the land as a living organism. They saw themselves as part of a greater ecosystem, and their survival was tied to that delicate balance. They mastered fire, water, food, and shelter in ways that modern science is now beginning to recognize. Modern survivalists have just started to catch up with these practices, from foraging to the medicinal use of plants. But there's more. We're starting to realize that these tribes had an understanding of sustainability and adaptability that goes far beyond what we've learned through modern survival schools. The question now is, why did it take us so long to understand what they knew? How did their methods help them thrive in environments that seem impossible to survive in today? But not all was perfect in this ancient world. Survival wasn't guaranteed. These tribes faced brutal winters, savage predators, and sometimes even their own people. But perhaps the greatest challenge was something we often overlook, the battle against nature itself. You see, ancient survival wasn't just about building shelters and finding food. It was about adaptation. The tribes understood that to survive, they had to change their relationship with nature. It wasn't a fight against it, it was a partnership. And this partnership wasn't always easy. One of the most dangerous threats these tribes faced were the changing climates. Droughts, floods, and extreme temperatures forced them to innovate. They learned to adapt to their environment or else they would perish. And yet, their survival was a delicate balance. Too much reliance on any single resource could bring destruction. Think about this. The ancient survivalists were not just surviving, they were evolving. Their ability to learn from failure, their ability to adapt, is what allowed them to outlast civilizations that fell apart due to their inability to change. The lessons of survival were not just passed down, they were earned. With every failure, the tribe learned something crucial. Nature does not care about our plans, our expectations, or our desires. Survival is about adaptability and perseverance, not perfection. The more we study these ancient methods, the more we realize how much wisdom they truly held. In fact, some of these practices were so effective that they're being rediscovered today. Techniques like controlled burns to maintain healthy forests or sustainable hunting practices are now being used to restore damaged ecosystems across the world. These tribes understood that survival wasn't about domination, it was about balance. And today, we're beginning to realize that their wisdom could save the planet. From sustainability to mental toughness, we're finally catching up with the ancient knowledge that helped them thrive. So, what can we learn from these ancient tribes today? The answer is simple, yet profound. Survival is not about fighting against nature. It's about working with it. It's about finding the balance, learning from the past, and adapting to the future. As we face growing environmental challenges, we can look to these ancient practices for guidance. They knew how to live in harmony with the earth, not because they were superior, but because they were connected to it in ways we've forgotten. And now we have a choice. Do we continue down the path of exploitation, or do we take the lessons of these ancient tribes and rebuild our relationship with nature? The time to decide is now.
Comment below with your thoughts. What ancient survival techniques do you think we should adopt today?